Welcome back to IGN Live at E3, streaming straight to you on youtube.com/E3, e3.ign.com, and IGN's app on Xbox Live. Before we get to the next segment, I need to let you guys know about one of our new great YouTube channels called Start. There's a ton of exclusive stuff like Greg Miller's comedy show, Up at Noon, Jessica Chobot's mixed reviews, and the show that I host, Too Cool Crazy. Subscribe to the Start channel and let us know what you think. Okay, but now we have the moment you've all been waiting for. Master Chief has been in cryo sleep for a long time, but now it's time for him to get back to the fight. Say hello to Halo 4.
Hey guys, we're here to talk about Halo 4. I'm joined by Josh Holmes, creative director from 343 Industries.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks. We got my buddy Ray Almaden, who's a lead level designer, who's going to be giving us a demo.
That's right. Big props to Ray. Woo! So we saw the demo that we're about to check out during the Microsoft conference. So let's boot it up and let's watch it and let's talk about it. And let's give us some background on what's happening in the single player campaign.
Yeah. So I mean the campaign picks up where the events of Halo 3 left off. The mission that we are about to show actually is a little ways into the campaign. So at the beginning of Halo 4, you've got Master Chief and Cortana who have been drifting aboard this derelict spacecraft. They arrive at this mysterious planet and crash land there. And this is later on in the campaign where the Infinity, which is this massive UNSC starship, is pulled into a gravity well and actually crash lands on Requiem, which is where Chief and Cortana are. And so they are then thrust into this rescue mission. And so this is the first time within the campaign that we introduce the Infinity, which then becomes kind of the centerpiece for our new multiplayer experience, which we're going to talk about a little later.
Yeah. Now, what is this thing here, this orb?
That's a great question. We're not going to actually talk about the specifics of that, except to say that it is definitely related to the new threat that Master Chief faces.
Gotcha. So it's not a giant pinball, though?
It's no. It was a good guess, though.
I thought you weren't going to tell me, but I had to ask.
Yeah, I understand. So this is Chief and Cortana have kind of made their way across the planet to catch up with the Infinity, and here they find the Infinity down and need to go on a little rescue op. So, I mean, one of the things that we really wanted to do with Halo 4 was tell a deeper, stronger, more immersive narrative. And you can see a lot of the detail that's gone into the new heads-up display. You see the pip there with Cortana talking to Chief, really trying to deliver that immersiveness. As well, you can see from the jungle that we're moving through here, all of the attention to detail that's gone into building the environments. We've got a world-class art team that's working on the game. We put a lot of work into the engine itself to upgrade the lighting and all around just the graphical capabilities of the engine so that we can deliver really high-fidelity visuals.
Keep your eyes open.
So now, how is the engine itself different than what was used, say, with the release of Combat Evolved Anniversary? Is it the same tech, or?
No, a completely different tech stream. This is actually based on the core Halo gameplay engine, but then all of the surrounding technology has been either radically overhauled or completely rewritten and replaced. So everything from sound to physics and animation, and of course lighting and rendering and things like that. So here you see, the Return of the Covenant. The Covenant do play a role in Halo 4, but they are not the only enemy that Chief is going to face. And so here you're getting a hint of this new threat that Chief is forced to deal with on this planet. And as we move through the demo, you're going to see a whole new enemy class that's being introduced in Halo 4, which is huge for us.
Now, the weapon that we just saw, it looked a little reminiscent of a Spartan laser, but this is totally different technology.
Yeah, this is different technology. What you're seeing here is one of the new enemies called the Crawler that makes its introduction in Halo 4. And these are part of a new enemy class called Prometheans. And so Prometheans are sort of non-organic life forms that are Forerunner in origin. And they work together. These guys, you can see, they work as a pack. They actually have the ability to crawl on walls and uneven surfaces. And when you're dealing with them in large groups, they become, quite a handful.
Now, why are they angry right now?
Well, that's part of the storyline of Halo 4 that we're not going to spoil.
I see.
But you can see here's Here's a new guy that we call the Promethean Knight, and this is essentially, the commander on the battlefield when it comes to Prometheans. He's tougher than an elite to deal with, and he's got the ability to spawn another unit that we call the Watcher. And the Watcher is kind of a support unit. He's got some really interesting abilities, like you saw him shielding the Knight there with hard light. He's able to catch your grenade and throw it back at you. A little later on, we're going to see how the Watcher can actually spawn more crawlers and bring them into the battlefield. They also have the ability to resurrect the Knight if he falls in battle. And here you're seeing an example of a new weapon. This is the Forerunner Light Rifle, and it has 2 modes of fire. So it fires a 3-round burst when you're just firing from the hip, and then when you zoom in, you've got a really powerful one-shot that does a ton of damage. All of the Forerunner weapons kind of form into place and make themselves adapt so that whoever's using them, they sort of take a form that they can use. And this is a huge expansion to the Halo sandbox. All these new weapons and abilities that come as a result of the introduction of a new class of enemies. You saw there, Ray threw the grenade, Watcher caught it, and then he was able to shoot the Watcher, and the grenade fell down and hit those guys. And here you've got Promethean Knight Lancer variant, and he's got the ability to move really, really quickly with his phase run. But of course the headshot took him out there, so there you go. This is another new weapon. This is a weapon that we call the Scattershot. And essentially it's like a Forerunner shotgun. So it's super powerful up close. It also has the ability to rebound off of surfaces, so you can see how it's sort of bouncing back there. You can imagine you can use this in multiplayer to your advantage, right? To shoot around corners to take people out, which is really nice. So as we move through the jungle here, is another example of one of the pips in the game, just really selling that narrative connection. And when we go into this next area, Ray's going to show off a new ability that we call Promethean Vision. And Promethean Vision basically works almost like sonar. So when Ray activates it, you see it sweeps through the environment and it reveals the location of enemies nearby. You can also use Promethean Vision to see through solid objects. So if you're facing people who are camping in multiplayer and you take Promethean Vision as part of your Spartan's loadout, you can use that to catch them out. So
that's because nobody likes campers.
What's that? Nobody likes campers, except the campers like to camp.
That's right. That's right. So, so that single-player demo, we saw footage of the Infinity crash landing. We're going to take a look at the trailer for the Infinity multiplayer right now.
That's correct. Yeah. So Infinity is a really big change for us with multiplayer in Halo 4. We've sort of connected the entire multiplayer experience to campaign through an ongoing narrative. And so this provides a narrative structure and context to everything that you're doing within your multiplayer career. Players can go into multiplayer and list on board the UNSC Infinity, and all of the multiplayer experience kind of takes place 6 months after the events of Halo 4's single-player campaign. And then that becomes a continuation of the story online. You've got War Games, which is your traditional competitive Halo multiplayer, and then a new mode called Spartan Ops, where players can engage in an episodic cooperative adventure that will take place over the span of an entire season.
Gotcha. Well, super appreciate you coming on the show and talking with us about Halo 4. We're very excited for the game.
Cool.
That was Halo 4. Thank you so much for joining us. Back to you, Naomi.
Thanks a lot, guys. Now, our Microsoft Super Block is coming to an end soon, but we're going to end it with a bang. Dance Central 3 is next, and if it's anything like the last game, you're going to be seeing some sick dance moves, or people embarrassing themselves. Hey, either way, it works.